Hello and welcome back to the 2021 Great Lakes Regional Championship. This is bracket play. We are watching, I believe, one of the last games in our ladder bracket. This is Penn State on the left in pink and black, Marquette on the right in blue. Whoever wins this game gets a bid. Whoever loses it drops down to the final rung of the ladder bracket to play one more time to get the last bid. So very high stakes. Both Marquette and Penn State have had a pretty good weekend. I've been really impressed with both teams. So this is going to be a great game. Head referee for this game is Matt Melton, who, if you watched Midwest Regional Championship last week, you saw a lot of Matt. It's a very experienced ref from Boom Train. Great to have Matt on this game. I emptied all of my chain. I have, I have the smallest coin. Game is about to get started. Penn State versus Marquette. Look at how good Penn State looks. Kneeling over there. We are all ready for this game to get started. Brooms down, and brooms up. It looks like, what does it look like? Marquette has decided to start this game with the quaffle, with the result of the coin flip, I believe. Or they got it. Could either have gone both ways. Number 8 from Marquette. Not number 8, excuse me. Number 61. I can't read, folks. Bringing up the quaffle, tries to make a goal. Unfortunately, does not happen. So now the quaffle is in the hands of Penn State. Penn State keeper bringing it up. Penn State does have bludger control right now.
What's the time we're looking at for the award ceremony right now? Done in like 2 seconds. Thank you.
So we're betting on Michigan ARs, right? Yeah, awards will be done in 2 seconds.
Some great beater action. A nice drive around the back of the hoops. Looked like the goal was good, but the head ref called it off for whatever reason. That was number 16 trying to make the goal, but they pick it up again, roll it a little bit. It is back in their hands, but they're getting pressed by Marquette, and a wonderful beat by, I believe, number 1 on Marquette, Nora McCahey does not help things for Penn State. Now Marquette, number 61, Nick Howard, bringing up the ball on the center, just past midfield line. Or just past the midfield line, getting some pressure from not one but 2 Penn State chasers. Quaffle is now in the hands of number 44, who passes it back sort of to no one, but number 15 is able to recover, getting dragged a little nearly out of play, passes it to the ground, but then number 61 picks it up, passes it. Goal to Disley does not go through, but on the second attempt it does. First score of this game goes to Marquette.
Have a great day, guys. That's it.
All right. Okay, here comes the cavalry.
Is that She's very good. Number 1 trying to bring the quaffle around in the back, gets beat. Quaffle is in the hands now of number 61, Nick Howard, bringing it up, making a run for it. Up the center, does a spin move, avoids getting tackled not once but twice, but the ball slips out of their hands. There's a little bit of a slip. Howard gets it. There is some wrestling at hoops. There's a player headband off. Where are the beaters to clean this mess up? Wow. That was an intense turtle right there.
If I sprint, I got time, right? Yeah, go. Need them anyway. Danny, grab mine too. Yeah, dude. I found my decade.
Penn State bringing up the quaffle, going a little bit to the left right now. Penn State does not have bludger control right now. Passes to number 1. I'm not going to use last names. I believe with these new jerseys, they are a little bit incorrect with Penn State. Great beat from Marquette, but there's a goal by Penn State. First goal from Penn State on the board. Score should be 10-10. You hear them screaming, none. This is a potential fast break sort of opportunity with number 61, who trips, unfortunately, looks like of their own feet, falls to the ground. Let's see where the quaffle is. That was a quaffle turnover led by number 1 on Penn State, slowing it down a little bit, which was a good move as nearly all of Marquette's line was right there, making a run for it on the right side. Passes through the hoop. It does not go in, but then as there is another goal, thankfully their keeper, who I can't see, number 16 on Penn State, with that goal. That makes it now 20-10. Penn State is up 10. What a fast game we already have, folks. Wow. Wow, wow. That's what I say.
We'll be watching that for actual plays. Need to be cards. Bring it back. Outside of that, we'll play stops for all my AR.
Marquette bringing up the quaffle. I believe number 19 has it. That is Trevor Tosto on the right side. Getting dragged by the Penn State chaser. Penn State now making another run for it. Penn State with bludger control passes it to another player. Trying to find a lane, goes a little high. It does not go in, but they're going to try to recover. Number 30, great recovery by number 30. We've seen incredible energy from them. And that goal goes to the right side of the hoops. Penn State now with 30 points. They are now up 20. Score is 30-10. Remember, whoever wins this game gets a bid and doesn't have to play again. So there is a lot on the line here for both of these teams. Marquette, number 19, Trevor Tosto, bringing up the ball, making a run for it. A little bit of a fake out. Tries to go through that small hoop. It does not. It is recovered, I believe, by number 19. It looks like we're going to have a bit of a substitute. Few subs for Penn State. Quaffle is now in the hands of number 30. They are advancing up the center. A little bit of Michigan blue in the stream. I can't believe it. Penn State, number 0, advancing with the quaffle. Seems to find an avenue in the center, but it is called no good. There's you hear the Marquette side screaming, none, 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 but Nick Howard is on the other side. Not Nick Howard, excuse me, that is number 83. I'm not sure who that is. It's hard to make a fast break though when you're on the other side of the goal. Looks like number 83 has to properly inbound reset the quaffle. One of those two now making their way back to Penn State's side of the hoops. They have crossed the midfield line. Penn State with bludger control. A high pass to number 14, or maybe an unintentional high pass. Number 14 brought to the ground. Okay, we are back, folks. Quaffle is in the hands of Penn State, who are bringing it up. Number 30 again, just past the midfield line. Penn State loses a bludger, unfortunately. Doesn't really stop 0 from advancing, but getting some pressure from number 14, Tosto. Passes to number 7, who swats it over to 18, who's not able to get it, unfortunately. And I have a feeling this is going to be Marquette's ball, but I might eat my words. We'll see. It is Marquette's ball. It is in the hands of number 83, now 44. Score is still 30-10. Game time is 8 minutes, 12 seconds. And that goal is no good, unfortunately, for Marquette. Penn State making a bit of a run for it, but there is a beater, number 81, and I don't know if the keeper will be able to survive this. A long pass back to number 30 in Penn State. Keeper is beat, sent back to hoops. Or not the keeper, excuse me, that's the chaser. The keeper is back just past the midfield line, advancing with both beaters in front of him. So obviously Penn State with bludger control right now, making Penn State being very slow. Not a bad thing necessarily. You don't want to lose control of the quaffle too early. Number 30 is in a position to potentially receive a pass, and that is what number 0 does exactly. But there is an attempted tackle. It doesn't stop them though. Number 30 shoots. It does not go in. Quaffle is back rolls on the other side of the pitch. Number 7 picks it up, passes it to the head ref, as I believe it is supposed to stay with Marquette.
Yeah, I started about like 5 ago. I love it. I got full places
Tosto, number 19, bringing up the quaffle just past the midfield line, going a little bit left, going around the left side, passes it to a player that's not there, unfortunately. It looks like this is going to be Penn State's ball, but Marquette is going to set up their defense to make this a little bit harder for Penn State.
Can we get another bludger to pitch 2? Oh wait, never mind, we found spares.
Number 0 bringing the quaffle around, but there is a hard tackle that brings him to the ground. Play is stopped right now as the keeper is on the ground. Hopefully they just got the wind knocked out of them. We'll see. We'll be right back, folks, while we have a slight stoppage here.
Coming.
I'll see you guys around.
Congratulations on a safe ride. See you in Utah.
It's convenient for them too, right?
From Nebraska.
Oh no, never mind. My geography's off.
That's okay.
I think Nebraska's further south than me.
So we are having an injury stoppage, folks. We will be back soon. Score is still 30-10 with Penn State in the lead here. So going into bracket play, Penn State and Marquette were neck and neck. They were 9 and 10 seed. So it's no wonder that they appear to be a little evenly matched right now, but Penn State was one above them. Penn State was the 9th seed going into bracket play. Marquette was the 10th. But it looks like the injury stoppage might be coming to an end soon. The player was able to walk off the field. We hope that they are okay. We will go back to this game now. Okay, let's figure out where all the balls are, folks. The quaffle.
There's no penalty on the play. All contact is legal.
All contact is legal. There was no penalty on the play. That is the official word from head referee Matt Melton.
Number 9 from Marquette will be inbounding the ball.
Number 9 on Marquette is going to be inbounding the ball. That is Olivia Stewart for Marquette. Number 14 making a run for it. A bit of a fast break, sort of. Penn State is ready to receive the pass to number 9, and that is good. A great goal from Olivia Stewart for Marquette brings the score now to 30-20. number 30 now with the quaffle after getting a pass. I believe that from number 88, but I'm not sure. Passes it back to number 66, not 66, excuse me, but 66 has it now. Passes it back to number 30. A bit of a diamond passing strategy that we're seeing from Penn State, passing it between 30, 66, and 84. Number 30, though, finally trying to carve through a lane, passes it over Nick Howard into the center goal. Great job from number 30, bringing the score to 40-20 with Penn State up 20. Number 61, Nick Howard, bringing the quaffle up for Marquette, getting wrapped by number 30. Despite the two-arm tackle, Nick is able to drive through it and try to score, but does not happen. There's a fast break from number 34 on Penn State. That was amazing. Great job from number 34 on Penn State, getting Penn State's 5th goal. Score is now 50-20. Howard advancing the quaffle up once again. '61 using their beater as a bit of a screen, turns around, passes, tries to make a goal. It is too high, gets to number 9, attempt to pass it to another Marquette player, but unfortunately they are beat, and the quaffle is now in the hands of Penn State.
Elizabeth, are you good?
Penn State, number 66, I believe, advancing the quaffle, passes it to another player on the other side of the hoops, flanked by beater on Penn State, number 72. That chaser on the other side passes it back to number 60. They are just trying to avoid the beaters on the other side. The chaser with the ball makes a run for it. That's number 30, makes a pass, but Howard blocks it. Bit of a wrestle as one of the other chasers on Penn State attempts to get it, number 55, but now Howard is running, gets wrapped, I believe that's by number 30, passes it right into the hands of number 66 on Penn State. Penn State slowing it down, though. They are 3 goals up. Go. Game time is 14:08. We have 6 minutes until intermissions. There's still plenty of time for Marquette to get more points on the board, as well as for Penn State to rack up the score, which looks like they are about to do with a dunk from number 30 on the far right side of the hoops, bringing that point differential that much bigger, 60-20. Penn State is now 40 points up in this game. Nick Howard bringing up the ball for Marquette, slowly flanked by chaser number 19, Trevin Tosto, with, that was, might be number 15, Nick Collins, on the left. Howard, that was a great screen, sort of. I think it was a screen. But Penn State now has the quaffle after Collins did a bit of a sneaky pass, or received a sneaky pass from Howard. Penn State number 66 advancing the quaffle, about to pass the midfield line, passes the midfield line.
Good stop, MSU!
Is bringing it up. Dead center. Looks like they might go a little bit to the right. They might have an opening. They're driving through all of the players, and they score. That is another goal for Penn State. Score is now 70-20. Okay, I believe Marquette has called for a timeout. Good moment. Penn State, if you see that hug, number 72 just hugged number 21. They are having such a great game. Wow, folks. Just fantastic offense from Penn State, seeing a variety of scores, which is great.
Score check for 52.
Marquette down 50, not a great position that they want to be in, of course. We'll see what changes they make after this timeout. They could definitely use some tweaks. Roster depth-wise, you know, these teams are about evenly matched. They brought the similar number of players. You're seeing, I think, a decent amount of subs between all of the teams, not a significant decrease in quality or anything. So it's clear that they have the trained depth. Maybe they can do some of that to give people some fresh energy, let some of the other players rest, like Nick Howard and others. But we will see what they come back with.
Course check for field 2, please.
Timeout is coming to a conclusion. Players are going to remount. Play will restart on the ref's whistle. Game time is 16 minutes, 30 seconds. Score is Penn State to 70, Marquette to 20. What changes are we going to see from Marquette's strategy right now? They need to get more points up on the board if they're to be in a stronger position to take back this game during the intermission. Howard bringing up the quaffle right now. It looks like we might have had a shove. No, excuse me. Just a player I didn't notice before coming in beater. Number 19 passes it, tried to pass it to Howard, but is recovered by number 66 on Penn State. But there's a call on the play. Everything's okay. Play will resume on the ref's whistle. Play has started again. Penn State doing some beater substitutions, looks like, as well as chaser. Katrina Bynum coming in as chaser. We've also had a keeper sub, I believe, and a new beater. Both beaters, Penn State does have bludger control right now. Both beaters are flanking well, they were flanking the chaser, and now one is covering a chaser, one's covering a keeper, getting some pressure from Marquette, but they do not give in. Number 16 bringing up the quaffle on the right side. Looking for an opening, not quite making any moves yet, makes a long pass to number 3, who shoots, does not go in. I believe that is a pass to Bynum, who scores it, and that is another goal for Penn State. Score is 80-20. We have a direction from head referee Melton to watch his ARs, to watch contact from behind. As we talked about before, contact from behind is illegal in Quidditch and a little bit of a safety hazard. A high pass from Nick Howard, a valiant recovery from Marquette, who is just a little bit too low. I believe that is number 60. I'm not sure. Excuse me, it was number 50, whose name I don't have, unfortunately, potentially Haley George, but great job with that chaser behind the hoops trying to get it in. But play has been stopped. Melton talking with one of his ARs, figure out what exactly had happened. We're seeing a lot of fast-paced games this tournament, a lot going on with the quaffle game and the beating game, and then put it all together, and you have a very chaotic salad of Quidditch here. It looks like that is going to be a card on number 16 from Penn State. Yellow card, contact to the neck, I believe. And also a warning to Penn State, appear to be recklessly dislodging hoops, and that needs to stop. So number 16 is going to serve a minute in the penalty box. This is not great for Penn State. Number 16 has been a key part of their offense this whole game, but they are 60 points up, and they have other strong players, so hopefully this won't make too much of a dent in their plans. Play has resumed. Marquette passes to number 15, There's pressure from the beater, so I'm not sure how long number 15 will be able to hold on to this quaffle, but we'll see. 15 passes to number 61, who's going up center, has passed the midfield line already, making a run for it. We'll see where they can find. It looks like there are definitely some beaters there, but they score, or they try to score. It does not go in. It is recovered by 15, though, but it is a turnover. Number 52, Katrina Bynum, bringing up the quaffle, passes it to the keeper for Penn State. Had another beater sub for Penn State. Penn State does not have bludger control right now, but I'm sure they will get it back soon. I believe they have I think they've maintained bludger control pretty well during this game. There has been a lot of back and forth beater play, though. Number 0 on Penn State, just waiting for the right moment to go. Bynum is behind the hoops, in position. That was an amazing goal. That was no good, unfortunately. It looked good from my end, but there's a whistle on the play. Refs need to conference. I'm not sure what they saw, but we will have more information once the refs come back. Play is still paused. Must be something for them to be talking that long. We might have a card on number 33. Yellow card on number 33 on Penn State. Contact from behind. That is a contact from behind on the beater end. Interesting. Beaters can obviously tackle, same as chasers. You just have to make sure you are not initiating contact from behind, as that is illegal. It is legal in other sports. It is not legal in Quidditch. Quaffle is now in the hands of Marquette. Number 19 retrieves it, passes it to 61, who starts to make a run for it, as I don't think Penn State have any bludgers, but that might change soon. Number 61 making a run for it, getting protection from one of their beaters, and they score! Score is now 80-30. Marquette getting a little bit closer to decreasing that gap, that unfortunate gap, that 50-point gap, and we are getting closer and closer to intermission. Game time is 18:54. Game time, is 19 minutes.
Field 2, do we have EMC clearance for their Penn State chasers?
Players, there was no call on that play. I'm not sure what was going on. 16 has the quaffle. It looks like they are now back in. Maybe they weren't out. I don't know, folks. It's been a long day. But number 61 making a fast break for it. Sort of a fast break. Pass it to number 19, who might have a little bit more options, but getting pressure from number 0. That looked definitely like a net contact, but maybe the goal was good as well. We will see. That is a yellow card on number 0 for net contact, but the goal from Marquette was good. 2 goals in relatively quick succession for Marquette, making the score 80-40. I'm wondering if penalty was negated by the goal. I'm not sure because I don't see a player in the box. Penn State now bringing up the quaffle. Penn State slowly making their way up the field, and we've had a beater sub, number 28 and number 25 in for Penn State as beaters. Number 0, I believe that is, bringing up the quaffle for Penn State up the right side, directing his beaters to go towards the center, at least one of them, a long pass to the chaser in the center, passes it to another chaser, who passes it to Bynum, and it is too high, I believe, does not go in, but 0 recovers, and Bynum is still behind the hoops. Penn State could still score on this play. There was not a turnover. Great recovery by number 0. Glad they didn't totally retreat yet. Flanked by number 25, providing a little bit of protection right there. I think we might have had another beater sub potential. Nope, just went off Jared Bludger. Now Penn State has Bludger control. I'm giving number 0 a little bit more options, who shoots through the top hoop, and they score. I'm a little surprised we didn't see more movement from the beaters to create a lane for number 0. It seemed like they went after the beater, which I'm not sure why. We are in intermission though. We will return. We will come to this game in 1 minute. Okay, so score is 80-40. Definitely better than it was before, when I believe there was a 50-point differential. Now it's just 40. So Marquette in a little bit better position than they were before, which is good. Set score is going to be 150. We will get that up on the board so we all can read what it is. Set score is new for the USQ rulebook. First seen, I believe, in the Major League Quidditch rulebook. It's a concept where after a certain point in the game, you pause and then add additional points to the leading score. Whoever gets to that score first wins. So for the US Quidditch rulebook, that means after 20 minutes, we call the last possession. After you've had that final possession, after the 20-minute mark, play pauses for a minute. And then we start the second half-ish, or second part of regulation play, which is when we start with the snitch. So that is why set score is going to be 150. Also new to accompany set score is a new value for the snitch. The snitch is now worth 35 points, and if you catch the snitch, you do not end the game. The game continues. Are seeing more and more, especially from the skilled snitches, games that aren't ending in a catch, which previously was only really possible in overtime games. So a new feature, we eliminated overtime technically, but brought with it the occurrence of no snitch catches during games. And the more skilled the snitches, the more likely they are to last. And we have one of the best snitches in the country on this game. We have top tier snitches, thankfully, at all of our regionals this season. Our snitch team has done a fantastic job recruiting them and making sure that they are ready for these games. USQ gameplay manager, Northeast regional coordinator, and player for Skyline Quidditch based out of New Jersey, Christian Barnes, is your snitch for this game. So I am curious to see what Marquette is going to do. Penn State could win this on quaffle play alone. They've shown that they can. Whoever catching this snitch would be incredibly convenient. And Marquette's not going to give up. They're going to continue to press. So really, I think what this comes down to is what the players do with their beaters. Do they focus it entirely on the seekers, or are they focusing on the quaffle? So we are going to get started with the second half of this game. Remember, score is 80-40. Set score is 150. Seekers are going to be coming out in 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. Barnard getting ready, or Barnes, excuse me. Barnes getting ready, and it looks like Penn beat the Marquette Seeker immediately. Seeking for Marquette is number 81, Alex Gatechfetch. I'm sorry, Alex. Number 81 for Marquette is beat. Number 55 getting some alone time with Barnes right now, flanked by number 28. So it looks like Penn State's going to split it. They attempted to make a goal. It did not go in. That's okay, though. The quaffle is back in the hands, I believe, of number 61, Nick Howard. Number 81 is still not able on Marquette to get in due to the pressure from number 28. That threat, you get close, I will send you back to hoops. That is entirely present right now. Number 55 trying to use some fast hand moves to get around Barnes, and they get around his hips, so not quite there, but getting closer. Marquette has the ball, or they did, and they don't anymore. Excuse me, folks, it's a lot to follow this game. There is so much going on in the Quidditch, and that is why we love it. It is fast-paced and exciting. An interesting reach around from number 55, but they do not get it. Number 81 is back, but of course they are beat. An attempted bludger shift by number 7, but number 28 does not give it up. Meanwhile, in the Quaffle game over on the right, we see that number 0 is bringing it up, and that is a dunk. That is another goal for Penn State. The first one of the second part of the game. Score is now 90-40. But there was a whistle. There's not. Everything's okay. I think we're hearing whistles from other games, unfortunately. Play is still going on here. Marquette number 61 bringing up the ball. Penn State with bludger control. No beaters on the seeker right now. But 81 not necessarily getting in there, although it looks like number 71 is back to keep 81 on Marquette away, giving 55 some much needed alone time with Barnes. Although frankly, I'm wondering if it might be a little bit easier time for Penn State if both seekers are going after them, but that does run the risk, of course, of someone catching before you. Number 81 making a run for it because Marquette has beat the other beater, but also beat the seeker. Number 81, though, is now off broom. Marquette has the quaffle after another goal for Penn State. I unfortunately missed who that was, but now the score is 100-40. 60 points separates Marquette and Penn State right now, and set score is 150. So Penn State just needs 5 more goals or 2 goals and a snitch catch to win this, and they are hungry. If they win this, they get a bid to U.S. Quidditch Cup. What a big deal, being able to come to our first national championships in the pandemic stopped everything. But if you look over in the quaffle game, there's a scoring attempt, a couple passes, smart passes between Marquette. Penn State, though, going on a fast break, lobs the quaffle over to 1, slowing things down a little bit, but leaving other players in position to receive a pass, which they do. And number 30 trying to find it. It does not go in, but it looks like it might be a recovery. It is intercepted by Marquette. Wow. Fantastic defense by Marquette, stopping that because it looked like number 30 was just a couple inches from making that shot. Number 81 finally alone with Barnes, trying to go around. Barnes is a very physical snitch, has a wrestling background, also has done a lot with the development of snitch, so knows a lot. Looking over at the quaffle play, there's a bit of a tussle for the quaffle, a pass to 83 that doesn't quite go the way they want, a little bit too long. Penn State now has the ball, however, a player is down. They're able to get up a little bit though, so maybe they're okay. We will be right back, folks, after this stoppage. The player, thankfully, is standing up. Hopefully they just had to shake it off. Sometimes you get hits that surprise you a little bit. We'll see if they'll be subbing off or if they'll be okay. Looks like we are subbing. Number 12 going off the field. Hope they are okay. We have a new beater in for Penn State. Okay, we are going to be resuming play shortly. Players are remounting. Game has resumed. Number 22 or 72 is now in at beater. Penn State bringing up the quaffle. Looks like they are ready. They're running up the field past midfield. Number 0 making a run for it, a little bit wide going on it, but makes it through the far hoop, the shortest hoop. I should have had more faith in Penn State because they carried it off. Meanwhile, it looks like we had a seeker sub for Marquette. Number 19 is now in. Number 19, Trevor Tosto. Looks like the Snitch's tail fell off. We're going to put it back on and reset after 3 seconds. Marquette making a drive for it after a tackle. The quaffle goes on the ground, recovered by number 19, who passed it to number 30. Number 30 has advanced past the midfield line. Number 19 going around the back, probably open for a pass. Number 30 flanked by number 72, passes it to, I believe that's number 0. Penn State does have bludger control. They might have just lost it. A great pass, oh no, an attempted goal, but number 28 blocks it from Marquette. Number 28 is driving. They have passed it to number 44, who passed it back to number 28, who is beat, unfortunately. Good determination, though, by number 28, Katie Rakowski. Score is 110-50. Excuse me, I missed a goal there. Set score is 150. Both seekers now are on Barnes. You see number 55 on the left, number 19 on the right. I'm surprised we're not seeing 19 go a little bit more aggressively, but that is another goal for Penn State. Score is 120-50. Some smart bludger play, leaving the third bludger in Penn State territory, number 14 for Marquette getting it. That is Ray Quant, one of the captains of this team. Number 55 gets beat from Penn State, goes back to hoops, leaving Tosto alone with Barnes, but Penn State on the drive, bringing it on the far left side of the hoops. It looks like they might have a decent scoring opportunity. Well, they did a second ago, not anymore. All the Penn State chasers are there, but that is a great pass from 1-0, I believe, and that was another goal for Penn State. They are now 2 goals away from winning this game. Score is 130-50. Set score is 150. Meanwhile, you see 55 getting a little bit more aggressive. 1 snitch catch could end this game, or 2 goals for their team. You also see number 19 coming around. Number 55 was so close. I think that was their closest attempt yet, going around the left side. Also see a close attempt for number 19. Oh, Barnes must be getting a little bit tired, although he's very experienced, so probably not. Marquette, number 83, advancing the quaffle, pass it to number 69, who goes to the right side, makes a long pass. It is too long. It goes off the side. It is going to be Penn State's ball. Penn State with bludger control, beating out the Marquette seeker, though. A valiant V-jump to try to avoid that, the kind that I used to see when I first started with USQ from Cody Marshall, veteran player of the Southwest region. I love to see players do a V-jump. It's one of my favorite moves. But Penn State, as I said before, now has the quaffle number 0, bringing it up. It looks like Penn State's going to try to keep one of their beaters on. Excuse me, both their beaters are focused on quaffle, but seeking is now Katrina Bynum against snitch Christian Barnes. Bynum really going in there, really working hard to try to get a catch for her team. Marquette was advancing the quaffle up. There's a little bit of a tussle. Number 24 has the ball. Number 21 initiating a wrap, but not able to bring them to ground. Has not let go, though. Excuse me, that was not the quaffle. That was the bludger. Whew, long day, folks. That was a attempted a beater tackle by Penn State. The bludger is no longer in the hands of the player they were tackling, but it's not in their hands either. So
You can catch him,
did it?
Christina. He's not that good.
Did it work? We're not
I
sure.
love you, Christian.
Where is the quaffle now, folks? It's like playing Where's Waldo out here sometimes with all of these balls. Let's see. If you can tell me where the quaffle is, I will give you 10 points. I can tell you where the bludgers are. I see them in a triangle right in front of me. Aha. I believe Penn... No. Marquette might have the quaffle. Yeah, Marquette has the quaffle off on the far right side. I'm not sure which player that is, but number 83. Number 83 has the quaffle for Marquette. Players have remounted, sort of, waiting for the whistle. I'm not sure why there was a stoppage. Everyone needs to not remount. I'm not sure what's happening. Melton conferencing with his ARs or goal judges, I believe. I'm not sure what's happening here. When I learn more, I promise I will tell you folks. It might have to do with the seeker play as Melton is talking to Bynum and Barnes. There was no call on the play. Everyone should remount. Play resumed now. Marquette with the quaffle passes it back to number 60, I believe, with the goal. Great job. I don't think that was number 60. It might have been. It was 50 with that goal. Score is now 130-60. Penn State having their chasers move quickly up the field with the actual ball carrier just past midfield line. Excuse me, I'm entering the score wrong on the scoreboard, folks. 1 second. Number 7 of Penn State bringing the quaffle around on the right side, crossing a little bit into the center. Meanwhile, Marquette seeker number 81 currently alone with the snitch. It looks like we've had a seeker sub back into the original Penn State seeker number 55, applying significant pressure to Barnes. Great physicality, but no catch yet, obviously. Number 83 recovers the quaffle from Marquette, or for Marquette, and Marquette now advancing up the field. They do not have bludger control. I believe that is in the hands of Penn State. 83 just having crossed the midfield line, going up on the right side. They do have a couple good passing options, but it's a little bit too high for number 9 to catch, and number 19 recovers, positioning themselves for these sort of missed passes to the Marquette players. Penn State now advancing up with the quaffle in the center.
That's a level 4 snitch move!
Both seekers are currently going after Barnes, number 55 on Penn State, number 81 on Marquette. Meanwhile, in the quaffle land, number 80 making a run for it around the back of the hoops. I think they're going to try to score. It was way too high, but it went straight in the hands of number 30, who does have a better option. And that goal is good. It's possible it bounced off the hands of number 19, but I am not sure. One more goal for Penn State, or a snitch catch will win this game. What an incredible run for Penn State they are having at this tournament. However, the ball is with Marquette in the hands of number 50, who scored Marquette's last goal, back in the hands of number 61, their keeper, Nick Howard. Marquette advancing very slowly, taking their time, getting closer to the center hoops. We'll see what they're about to do. A bit of forced pressure. The goal is no good, though. Nick Howard attempts to score through the center hoops. It does not go in. Recovered again. Surprise. Number 19 is there, but also so is number 50 from Marquette. And there was a little bit of a scuffle, but number 52 is in there with the bludgers to put a stop for that. I believe that is also Katrina Bynum. Katrina playing so many positions today, beats the Marquette seeker to give number 55, presumably, another opportunity. But now it is Penn State's possession, and they just need one more goal. Remember, set score is 150 and score is 140-60. Penn State playing smartly here. Passes for number 30 to 70. 70 is waiting for it. Penn State trying to regain bludger control. Passes it to number 0, who passes it to 1, I believe. A little bit of a fake out. Number 7, with the quaffle. Passes it to... I missed who that player was, but The goal looked good to me, but maybe it wasn't. Player was beat before. Oh, how unfortunate for Penn State. So that goal is no good. Players are remounting. Quaffle is in the hands of Penn State. Number 30 still has the quaffle. Lobs it through the hoop. It does not go through, unfortunately. I wish they had been able to make a pass there. I think that might have been a little bit more effective for them in that situation. But, you know, a little chaotic coming off of a stop and play where you thought you might have won the game, but you didn't. Meanwhile, number 55 is alone with Barnes. Beater number 1 for Marquette, beating the seeker, Nora McCahey.
All right, Spartans, lock it down. You got them on.
And we have a new snitch, number 7, in for Marquette, Charlie Farrar. Meanwhile, on the quaffle game, Marquette loses it to Penn State, who makes a fast break for it. This is going to be their last goal, I think. Goal is good. That was, I think, number 0. But they went either 7 or 0. They went so incredibly fast. That is the game, folks. 150 to 60. Penn State wins this. They have secured a bid to U.S. Quidditch Cup taking place in April 2022. Hearty congratulations to Penn State. Marquette, however, is not out of it. There's one more bid game. Marquette will play whoever loses the game between Michigan State and Illini, and we will be streaming that soon, so please stay tuned. Don't leave on a Sunday night. We still have one more great game of Quidditch left. See you soon.